Hi, Mom. Yeah, things are going great. The job search is going really well. I've got lots of strong leads. I shouldn't need to borrow anymore. There's no problem. Yes, I know there are jobs back home.
I always dreamed about a career in the big city, doing something I loved, maybe up in some skyscraper even. But lately, every time I look at one, I'm reminded of how far from that dream I seem to have fallen. I've gone 2 months without an interview, I'm behind on the rent, and up to my ears in debt.
Yes, Mom, I know there are jobs back home too, but I love you too.
Something the matter? Maybe I could help.
No, I don't think so. Thanks anyway.
Try me.
There's this great company that I would be so perfect for. I mean, the boss is a little eccentric, but he's brilliant. The only problem is I can't even seem to get an interview. Back in school, they never told me that it would be this hard out here. And even if they did, I might not have believed them.
Maybe it's your resume.
I like to think I'm more than just a piece of paper.
Sure you are, but prospective employers meet you for the first and quite possibly the last time through your resume. And a bad resume can spell trouble. Today just might be your lucky day.
Come again?
Fine. I'll help you out. But you're gonna owe me a favor when we're done. I'm paid.
Paid? I'm Angela. What kind of favor?
Did I ever tell you about Jenny and Penny?
No, we just met.
Oh yeah. Picture this. Jenny went to a good school, got top grades, and had connections in the business world.
Sounds like she's got it made.
Maybe, but Jenny was arrogant. She didn't want to listen to anyone because she thought she knew it all. Penny, on the other hand, did not go to a top school, but worked hard and did well. Unfortunately, Penny didn't know anyone or much about the business world, but Penny had a secret weapon. She was willing to listen and learn. It all starts with a resume. Stick to the standard format. Name and contact information on top, educational experience next, and then work experience. Jenny thinks she can get creative with her resume. Wrong. This is not an art show and you are not being graded on your graphic design abilities. Do not use colored paper. Jenny thinks it will make her stand out, and it will, as a kook. Use a normal, easily readable font. You've got to check for typos. You've got to check, double check, triple check, and quadruple check. Even better, have a couple other people check it for typos too. One other thing. Jenny's included every work experience here from her first lemonade stand to her paper route. Don't stuff your resume with fluff to make it longer. Keep it simple and clean.
So she should make her resume look more like Penny's?
Yes and no. Penny's got the format right, but use regular paper. If you're sending a resume through the mail, you must use paper stock, 20 pounds or heavier. Penny's is also too casual. She should not include personal interests and definitely no nicknames. Remember, time is money. They are looking for ways to whittle down the applicant pool so they won't have to interview as many people. Resumes are the easiest way to do that.
Okay, this is great stuff. Let me make sure I've got it. No typos, proper format, appropriate length, readable font, paper stock if mailing, no nicknames, and no personal interests.
Have you thought about your cover letter?
Not especially.
Be sure to send it to a person at the company, not to whom it may concern. In the worst case scenario, to sir or madam will do. After that, keep it concise, free of typos, and on the same paper stock as your resume if you're sending it in the mail. Got it?
Got it. Thanks, Paid. I really owe you one.
Where you going?
To look for a job.
If you want to get a job, you better sit back down. The battle has just begun.
So there I was in the park, behind on rent, deep in debt, and down in the dumps because I couldn't get an interview to save my life. Then this mysterious guy appears out of nowhere, full of great resume advice. Don't ask me where he got it. Anyway, after all that resume stuff he says that I need to do, he tells me the battle has just begun.
If you want to get a job, you better sit back down. The battle has just begun.
What's that supposed to mean anyway?
Just because you can send out a decent resume doesn't mean you can start to pick out a corner office. You still got to nail the interview. Did I ever tell you about Jenny and Penny?
Yeah, you just told
The one where they go on their interview.
No, not that part.
Penny got there 15 minutes early, and Jenny showed up late. Trust me, they'll notice if you're late. Plan to arrive 20 minutes earlier. Remember, on time is too late. Start your day in a positive frame of mind. Don't just turn it on and off in the elevator. Also, don't forget about the gatekeepers, the receptionists, secretaries, security guards, all the so-called little people that most people ignore. Guess what? They talk to their bosses, and if you treat them poorly, their bosses, the people who might hire you, will hear about it. Though Jenny answered her questions more quickly and more accurately than Penny, Penny appeared to be more attentive and more professional in every other way, from her clothing to her posture to her eye contact to the way she shook hands and even the way she sat in the waiting area. Penny had also researched the company all week and impressed everyone with her knowledge of the firm and the quality of her questions.
Can you stay a little bit longer? I would like to bring in my colleague to say hello.
Actually, I can't stay. I'm sorry. I have somewhere to be. You have my digits though, right? Okay.
Penny?
Sure, that sounds great. I'd like to make a phone call first, if that's okay.
Certainly.
So all of these little things make that big of a difference?
All the difference in the world.
Hey, Paige, this stuff is priceless. How much do I owe you?
I don't want any money.
Come on, you must.
I'll ask you for something later, but it won't be money.
Okay, I guess. I'm just glad we met. I don't think I would have had a prayer without you.
As things are, you still don't.
What now?
Just listen.
You know, I recently interviewed 2 young men over lunch.
How did it go?
Well, you can tell a lot about someone by the way they act at a meal. So these 2 young men, why don't we call them Dwight and Chris? Dwight was very well-mannered and clean-cut, but his upper crust ways betrayed him when he managed to order the most expensive item on the menu.
What was he thinking?
Yes, Dwight was not a cheap date, and we felt that if we hired him, he would probably take full advantage of the company expense account.
What about Chris?
Well, Chris was much more down to earth, perhaps a little bit too much so. While he didn't order the most expensive thing, his manners were atrocious, and we knew that we couldn't send him out with a client for dinner.
Wow, I never thought that such little things would make that big a difference.
We are always watching, and we see everything, and that's our job.
Okay. Be there early, wear proper business attire, research the company, treat the gatekeepers with respect, and mind your manners. Did we forget something?
We sure did.
The thank you note. Send one that's simple, tasteful, and prompt.
Very nice.
Thanks, but there's more, isn't there?
You're learning. You're learning.
So, my new best friend Paige has given me the scoop on resume writing and all the things to look out for in the interview. Of course, there's more, but I can't figure out what.